Go for a cracker here. Wait, hold up. Hold up. What's up, my dogs? Alright, so they're gonna be playing some top level HOG EARTHQUAKE. Just nice voice crack, bro. Just trying to go over, some of the most popular matchups that you guys might face. So just trying to give like my advice on how you can beat them. Just make sure you guys aren't losing. But alright, against this graveyard here, this is a very aggressive player. Just went for Witch Poison first play. Alright, sure. Sure thing. So against Graveyard, especially the HUD version, you really wanna win in single. It's really hard to kind of like um keep the pace in double, trying to like, keep up with defending and getting damage. So my main tip would really just be as aggressive as you can in single. It just it's just gonna work out. Alright, I'm gonna pop here, as I was saying, because he doesn't have Tornado. I don't think so. He shouldn't at least. So yeah, he goes for Evil Witch there. This is fine. Go for like a can here. So we're gonna get like 3, maybe 4 Hawk hits there. Gonna ignore the Knight. It's not really gonna, pose that much of a threat. Just gonna log here, make sure can stays, pretty healthy. He goes for alright. He's just one of those. He's just one of those. Hopefully the Witch dies, which alright, it actually did, but those Kellys are kinda like piling up. And so here we're going same lane, which is not really optimal. I'm probably gonna try to switch lanes here. But yeah, in this matchup, you want to like save the firecrackers at the start at least. Don't really like give them King Tower too early, because if they get King Tower, then it's just over. As soon as they get the King Tower, like every defense from them, it just kind of becomes like, just a lot easier because they have like Spear Goblins, Ice Spirit, just cards like that to kind of like really just like stall it. If they have the King Tower, something that could have been like what 2 or 3 Hawk, it's gonna be like one at best. So yeah, that's one of my tips. You're gonna go for Firecracker here. You go for he just goes for that. That's cool. There was some Skellies here. Actually, that was a kind of a bad bar barrel, but okay. Okay. You're gonna go for like wait, hold up. I can lock here. And I go for my evil cracker. Hold up. Hold up. He's gonna go for that. This is fine. Just gonna earthquake here. Go for mighty here. I'm just gonna use spear. Just hopefully chain on like basically everything, which is not really what happens. But we only took one skeleton hit, so that was a decent defense actually. Gonna go for evil witch the back. Now this is where it gets kind of tricky because you can't really defend those unless you have like a mighty Marathon, which we don't have it right now. But now we'll see. We'll try to make it work. He goes for that. Alright, I'm just gonna earthquake here. Gonna go for like an E-Spirit here. Maybe go for like a Mighty here. So again, the E-Spirit's not really, doing as much as I would have hoped so, but still a overall solid defense. Alright, just goes for that. Honestly, I'm just gonna pop here. Maybe splash the witch. No, it doesn't. Okay, this is fine. Hawk here, pressure while defending. Maybe just like earthquake here, right? Wait, hold up. He's gonna um gonna go for a defensive graveyard. Okay. Okay, he meant to HUD there, but I guess I'll take it. I mean, even if he HUD'ed, that was like 2 Hawkins at least, so I'm not complaining. I'll see you boys in the next one. Alright, here in the second game against interesting name this guy has. Alright, against Shaftar. So this could be maybe like P.E.K.K.A Goblin Giant, something along those lines. Maybe Eagle. Alright, it's P.E.K.K.A Goblin Giant, or it could be normal Giant. I think it also runs Chef Tower. I'm pretty sure. Goes for a new Wiz. Alright, so I think it's yeah, I think it's the the Goblin Giant backup version, bro. Cannot think right now. But that's fine. So in this matchup you can actually activate King Tar against Goblin Machine with either a Spirit or a Firecracker in this position. Or I think with a Mighty Mine would work as well, but you never really wanna Mighty Mine there because just it's probably not the most optimal play there. But we can go for some Skellies here, kind of like protect the can, just like ever so slightly. He might like Rage, which he doesn't do. All right, so this was kind of like a free defense. Haven't really taken any damage here, so that was a pretty decent start. Usually, if you see a Chef Tower, most of the time you can just go for like a Hog first play, because usually you can just like defend pretty easily, at least in single. But in double you kind of wanna be like more conservative with that. So alright, this guy has arrows as well. It's probably not the easiest matchup, especially with like E Spirit instead of Ice Spirit. I mean, even if you have Ice Spirit, after the nerf. So I did not mean to place that yet, but okay. Go for Mighty here, Skellies. Just kind of like space them out, make sure the Mighty stays living. So at this point we have a Mighty surviving, and he doesn't. Alright, he has to use the Shaft thingy on the E-Wit. So we can just go for this. Go for Firecracker here. And this should be some damage, some like pretty decent damage, because you know, he kind of spent like 9 elixir there on that defense, so doesn't really have much. But yeah, Firecracker's getting a lot of value. Alright, just gonna let the Ewis go. So he might go for like a Goblin Giant in the bridge, but I mean it would be like a horrendous play because he doesn't have Ewis inside. We can just like Mighty Mire on it. Alright, just goes for Pack at the back. So in this matchup, what I like to do is just go for like a Mighty Opposite, which is not something I see a lot of Hawk players doing, but you know, for me it's been working. But you want to go for a Mighty Opposite and then just cycle some Firecrackers at the start and you just kind of like get in the rhythm. Just alright, he goes for that. This is cool. You don't want to cycle oh, okay, hold up. But yeah, I don't like cycling Firecrackers at the bridge because they can just like you know bomber or Ewis or like even Gold Machine it, and you know that's just not really often. But this guy just gives up. You know, we completely destroyed him here. I mean, even the Mighty Mire took the second tower. You know, if he like continued trying to go in, but I feel like this was just like textbook defense against these types of matchups. You never really want to Firecracker the bridge, you know, as a first Firecracker of the defense, and you should be good here. Alright, here against Vindagor. So I think I explained myself that good in the last matchup, but you really just wanna play kind of more passive at the start. You know, again, you can go for a Hog Earthquake or not Hog Earthquake, just go for you know Hog the Bridge. But like you can go for a Hog the Bridge first play in like basically any matchup. You know, unless against if you like know that there's playing Splasher, then you know it's not really that optimal. But you know, in most cases you can just freely go for it. You know, don't really you know give it a second thought. But yeah, and the last matchup you really just want to play passive. You know, at least at the kind of like in single and like towards double. You don't want to go for like just random hogs if you like feel like you might be down in elixir. But yeah, you know, speaking of playing passive, this guy's definitely not one of those. So this is also a very popular matchup that you guys might face. And you know, on paper, it might seem like very easy. You know, he doesn't have a big spell, doesn't really have a building, or basically like anything to defend the Hog Rider, right? But they have Dark Goblin, Cannoneer, Ice Spirit Log, just so many counters, so many like genuine counters to the you know to like actually deal with Hog Rider. It's actually insane. Like also here that was just kind of like a very annoying push. We actually defended pretty well. Didn't really wasn't like keeping track of the Evo Skeleton Barrel, so that's kind of on me. But we defended somehow. You know, that was you know more luck than skill, but it doesn't matter. So in this matchup, again, just play passive and single. Just don't go for like those random hog riders. I'm gonna go for it here because you know defend the fire spirit, but you don't always want to go for it. I'm gonna go for it here because I know that he doesn't have Evo Scale Baron cycle, so you know it's gonna work. I can go for Evo Cannon here, kill the I think it missed, bro. The Evo Cannon there. It's kind of like you know not doing me wonders, but he went for his Spirit Golems there. I don't know why. We can just Earthquake here. Another play I kind of love in this matchup is just you can Earthquake the bush, and that was a good Fire Spirit. Okay, okay. Wait, hold up. How does he defend this though? How does this guy defend this? Might go for like maybe a Goblin Gang? Yo, hold up. No, alright, he's smart. He's smarter than that. But that might still be on tower. Okay. Oh, that was not as smart as Dark Goblin. But yeah, another play in this matchup. I usually like to Earthquake the bush. It just gets it off the board. You don't really ever want to cannon the bush because you need a cannon for the skeleton barrel. You know, it's one thing you really like almost always want to have in cycle, just like a skeleton barrel. I mean cannon for the skeleton barrel because skeleton barrels like you know they can you know, pile up pretty quickly. So yeah, just make sure you're chilling. That I'm gonna lock here because he did go for you know some spear golems there, so we can just get some free additional value. So you know not really complaining. Just gonna go for a can here. See what he goes for here. Honestly, I can just like hawk here. Make sure the firecracker kills the dark golem. Hopefully, okay. It's not really looking like it, but the firecracker on the right was kind of splashing on the boost, so they didn't have to like do anything about it there. So you know it's actually working out pretty well for us. So if you're not playing against like a good player in this matchup, it's actually like pretty easy, you know, because they don't really like know what they're doing. You know, these like not so good players. But if you're playing against like someone who has like a slight idea of you know how to like pressure, you know, to where you can't really go in or like defend that well, it can be actually like pretty tricky. I'm gonna pop here because it's gonna. I mean, think about it. It's gonna like kill the bush. It's gonna go for a hawk here. Wait, that was not a hawk. Wait, the bush is still standing somehow. Hold up. Go for an e-spear here. Go for some skeletons. This is gonna lock here. The bush getting some damage, but hold up. The hog rider gets one more. All right. I guess this is mighty takes it. All right, see you boys in the next one. All right, here in the next one. This guy has dagger dashes. You know, I haven't seen that much dagger and leather, but you know, it's all good, it's all good. Alright, he's playing some Skelly Barrel deck. Usually it's like wrong with like either mortar or just like complete Skelly Barrel cycle, but this guy's playing something different, I guess. Alright, some sort of bait deck it seems. This is fine, this is fine. He goes for wall breakers, but there's just a lot of spam. I don't know. I'm not liking this. But I can just pop here. Maybe be on tower as well, right? Okay, that's like 500 damage. Don't mind if I do. But actually, those like 500. That's actually crazy. Didn't like know it does that much. But okay, never mind. We're against the famous recruits deck. Okay, okay. So this is like a decent matchup most of the time. But this guy has Duchess, so might be like slightly harder. But in this matchup, just defend in single. Don't go for like any hog riders. I mean, just like maybe like occasionally if they like go for recruits to the back and you can like defend pretty perfectly and have like a remaining firecracker. But most of the time in this matchup, you really just want to survive single because he already cycled to Evo recruits. You know, I don't think he's like back to them in the hand yet. But once he is, it's just gonna I'm just gonna be in a world of we're gonna earthquake here. Don't really want to waste my cannon quite yet. You know what I mean? But alright, go for like an E-Spear here. And we can just kill these. This should be like a pretty flawless defense of the Goblin. Alright, he's pretty he just goes for recruits to the bat. This is fine. This is fine. I'm gonna go for a can here. Just cycle it early because we kinda need 2 cans here because he's already back to the Skeleton Barrel Evo, so that's not gonna be it's definitely not gonna be fun to defend. But go for a firecracker here. Go for like a mighty because he's gonna arrows. Yep. Yep. Go for an E-Spear here, and I think those recruits should be like taken care of. Don't really have to like skellies. I could have to like protect the can, but it doesn't matter. Oh, he's not playing Skeleton Barrel Evo. This is pretty fascinating. I would assume he is, but I guess he has wall breakers, which he already played them, so I guess I'm just kind of blind. But so I'm gonna ignore those actually, because I can just go for a hawk here. If he's not back to arrows, goes for a goblin. Man, hold up. He might like recruit the bridge. Yep. But hold up, he might like want to arrows. But wait, chat. Let me cook. That was a crazy lock. That was a crazy lock. That one of the recruits kind of gonna clear, bro. With the mighty ability. Oh, bro, this guy just got kind of. Oh man, not even joking. All right, just earthquake here, and that was just I guess pretty perfect way to defeat recruits, especially with dagger dodges. With dagger dodges, like definitely a lot harder because they can just defend for so much cheaper. Not worry about not worry about basically anything because they have dagger dodges. Can't really stop that girl. But we can just lock here. Go for hold on. I don't want to speak too soon. Do not want to speak too soon. Go for a cracker here. Wait, hold up. Hold up. No, not even close. All right, not even close yet. Anyways, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you boys tomorrow. Peace.